Hi Tamara, how's it going?
Hi, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sound a little apprehensive about that.
Oh, no, it's been a busy week, so I'm just sitting down.
Yeah? Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Not too bad, just to finish at the end of the semester and, just busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With assignments and...
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, I'm not full-time, but I am, it's enough where I'm busy enough, but then, my work life's gotten busy and all the different compartments have gotten busy too, so.
I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to take a couple notes here, and you're more
Okay.
than welcome to read them if that would make you feel more comfortable, but they'll just stay confidential between us.
Yeah.
So you said you're just part-time, right?
On 3 courses right now.
3 courses,
Yeah.
and that's, and
It's actually
life
considered
also.
full-time, but
Mhm.
I'm not doing my practicum this year, so
Mhm.
that's a big difference.
Yeah. So when does your classes finish and you can kind of focus on yourself a little
April 9th around there next week,
Mhm.
and then I think and my birthday's on the 11th, so.
bit? That's exciting.
I never plan anything because I'm just done school.
Well, maybe that'll be a good time to maybe do some self-care and do a little bit of focusing on yourself once you finish classes. So could you describe maybe some of the stress that you're having or some of the feelings you're having revolving around your stress with school?
I did notice, and it's not even particularly stress with school, but it could be part of it, because I noticed it's like this ramp up sort of, and I'm having a harder time sleeping. Like last night I watched Netflix till 2 in the morning, and I haven't done that since last winter, and I was a little bit more stressed around that time too. I just knew, and then the night before I just had a hard time falling asleep, and so for me that's kind of a sign.
Absolutely. And do you notice any correlations between like that heightened stress? Is that maybe when more assignments are due, or is that when things kind of pile
Yeah,
up?
it's kind of a cumulative thing, and it's not like I walk around like, oh, I'm stressed, but I kind of try to push it to the back, and then I notice things like, oh, I'm eating like not what I usually eat, and I'm not getting enough sleep, and I'm kind of just like, it's like a kick into another mode.
Absolutely.
So.
So I guess like my question for you regarding your sleep schedule would be, obviously when school ramps up, things pile up, the stress levels go up, and then maybe the sleep pattern gets disrupted. Do you think that there may be a correlation between those two things? Maybe that one causes the other, that there's a snowball effect? Do you understand what I'm saying with the snowball effect?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think there may be any point in there where you may be able to step back and notice before the sleep happens, because then you don't end up at 2 a.m. and maybe you stop when you're at 8:30 and sleepy, you know what I mean? Do you see any points in that where you may be able to feel yourself getting
I know
stressed?
what I need, I know the ideal, and then I also watch what is happening. And a reason I just don't give up and try to make myself sleep is because one of the other triggers happens, like I start to ruminate about some past stuff, and then I have dreams, and it just doesn't. So I kind of just try to like numb myself out before bed. And, yeah.
So sleep isn't necessarily an enjoyable thing for you all the time, hey?
No. No, actually that's a good point, yeah. I love sleep, but I haven't had an enjoyable sleep in a couple of years. Or maybe I have, but yeah.
Well, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. But with the, just to take a step back as well, with the starting of like the sleep disruption, is there maybe a way that you could, I don't want to say monitor yourself, but know when those assignments are coming up so that you could possibly create a more rigid sleep schedule for yourself? Just a suggestion. I don't know how you would feel about that, but maybe when all the assignments do make your bedtime a strict schedule, would that be something that you're interested in?
Yeah, I would try that. Again, it's like, it's worse when I just go, and then I'm just like, I can't, I don't want to torture myself in bed, but I could try going to bed earlier. That'd be good. Kind of watching my schedule more instead of just going with it,
And do you have any activities that you enjoy that are somewhat calming, that maybe instead of going to sleep, you could, say, read a book, or write in a journal, or I guess Netflix would be one of those things if it's something that you enjoy.
I don't know if it helps me sleep. I was watching OA? I was watching like near-death experiences. Just got sucked in.
Oh goodness.
I do try to do. I it's very seldom, because I know I got into a bad phase with it last year, so I try not to do the Netflix before bed. So I try to have the bath, and then I just get to be like, okay, I'm off, like, off duty. I have the bath around, I don't know, 9:30. And sometimes I can unwind and go to bed, and other times it's just having a harder time, so I need to distract myself. But
Well, I
the
think
bath helps.
that's good to hear, because that's maybe something that you could create as like a self-care strategy for when you go into these times of high stress. Inevitably, it'll happen with school. We all want to be good time managers, but it doesn't always work out that way. So having a bath would be a good strategy. You know, I don't think that maybe Netflix is the root cause of all of these things. Maybe if you wanted to enjoy a TV show here or there, I think that's completely reasonable. It's just about what kind of relaxes you and puts you in a good headspace. So I think maybe if you're interested in this, we could work on some goal setting to maybe create sort of a plan for when these times of high stress come around, so that you're not feeling that way of staying up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, actually,
really
when you mentioned group
relaxing.
cause, I figured it out. I actually have a funeral this week in my family that I can't attend because some of the family stuff that's going on.
I'm sorry to hear
So I
about
think
that.
that was what it was.
See, it always
Yeah.
comes somewhere else, and you don't realize it until you take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
And do you think that maybe with all the stress of school, you kind of got caught up in thinking about the schoolwork when maybe something else was bothering you?
I know I use school that way, so I never like stress out about school. I somehow manage it. I use it as my anchor, actually. If I'm stressed about something else, I just put it into my work. So, yeah. But it is, yeah, that was interesting.
Sometimes we tend to get very focused in on what we may consider the little things, like papers and assignments and stuff, and there's something that's obviously bothering us right in front of our faces, but we're so narrowed in.
Yeah, I definitely escaped through my schoolwork.
So what do you think would be some good self-care strategies to kind of get yourself through that hump of school? You mentioned baths are a good one. Do you have anything else that kind of relaxes you to a state where you can maybe think about going to sleep, or gauge where you're at with your rest, and also maybe you said you ruminate, so maybe take yourself out of that place to focus on something that's more enjoyable?
Yeah, I because school's so mental, so I'm worked in, so, and when I'm in my head, and the rumination too, that's, even though it's way different than the school, it's over here about something else. The physical is good, and I know I haven't been getting enough physical just in the last couple of years, really. So when the semester is done, I like getting into more the gardening and the walking. I actually thought about joining a gym for my 41st birthday, but I don't know if I'll pull through or not, so we can talk about that for our goals.
You're joining a gym?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Would you be interested in doing any sort of community work, like joining a group, a walking group or a hiking group?
Oh, a hiking group might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even something at a gym to kind of baby step your way
Yeah,
into
it is
that.
with a group. I really don't feel comfortable in gyms. I had it in my change project and everything. I was gonna do this and do that. So the seed was planted way back then, and then I did try one class and I didn't enjoy it. But then I went and again looked at a class and I was like, I think I could do that. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe something in the future.
Yeah.
And would that, how do you think that would affect your stress when you come into those situations? Do you think
It would
be
really help.
You think it
I
would
know
help?
me being physical, even though I'm having a hard time like putting myself there because I don't like it necessarily, I think it would really help with my mental.
Absolutely.
Sleep. Yeah.
So gym, baths, maybe some light movie watching. What about reading or meditation or any sort of mindfulness?
Reading, actually, I'm looking forward to reading stuff outside of the classes. I have what book do I have lined up? I like reading in the summer at the beach and stuff. When I give myself that time. Yeah, I pulled out a couple books yesterday, I'm trying to remember them. Yeah. My roommate has a lot of on his bookshelf, so I was kind of digging around on there yesterday. What was the other one?
Mindfulness?
Mindfulness.
Yeah, some meditation perhaps. I don't know if you're into yoga, I guess that would fall into the physical side, but
Mhm.
just having that time to kind of reflect. I know that's tricky with, like you said, the rumination that you feel sometimes.
Yeah, well, I try to observe. I have done a little bit of mindfulness around that. Just observing when it does happen for me and not labeling it bad or good. Just, I've had someone try to help me with that before. Usually lets go when I just go, oh, look what's happening, look what I'm thinking about, and I just feel like this like tense up and I'm going around and around, and then I just observe it as an outsider, and it seems to be better.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just some good self-awareness that you
Mhm.
have of yourself, and I think that's a really good starting point for if you do ever decide to create maybe a plan to do mindfulness meditations, to know that it may take you a while, or
Yeah.
that it's not, maybe not, doesn't come as naturally to you as other people, but it is something that you may
Mhm.
be interested in the future.
Mhm.
So is there anything that you think you could do now to kind of set yourself up so that when you're finished school, to begin a routine of self-care, so that when you come back around, you said you're coming back in the fall, that you're prepared for the stress of school again?
I find school the least amount of stress. I know, it is stressful, but I just had some bigger topics to really tangle with in my family life and stuff. So, well, yeah. So some self-care strategies.
Yeah, I guess I could reframe that. I guess I assumed that school was the big one for you, but maybe just something that you'd like to carry year-round, rather than just in the point where you're feeling the
Yeah.
pot boil over. Is there anything you'd like to create in a routine without weighing yourself down? You don't want to like add to
Yeah.
the list of
Yeah,
things that
have to
everyone
do.
has to do, but is there anything you'd like to maybe create as something you do once a week or once a month, or
I can stay
anything?
on my bats. That
The
sounds
bats?
not like a have-to-do thing. And then, yeah, gardening. So those are things I like to do, and then I would like to ease into a little bit of the. And it's not like I'm pushing myself for the gym. It's like I'm 41, and my mom had osteoporosis. Like, I know that lifting would
Mhm.
help at this
Mhm.
point. It's been something I've been thinking about. So maybe just to getting into that, like goal-wise, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, good long-term goal. to
Yeah, for
kind of
self-care.
ease
If I
into
just to go totally like self-care, no one else, I don't care, like that would be.
that. Mhm. Absolutely. Well, and I think that's some good self-awareness that, you want to, your mother, you said, had some issues with that, and so it's something that you kind of want to deal with before you get to the point
Mhm.
of needing to go to the gym, start easing yourself into it. And then, do you want to talk about some anxiety management tactics, and maybe something if you said you were feeling stressed, do you find that anxiety is something that you struggle with as well?
I guess the anxiety shows up differently for me. It's not like I'm having a panic. Anxiety is like me not trying to fall. I can't fall asleep as easy. I just carry this little extra, and that, yeah, unwind and wind. I'm a little bit more wound up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
More of a general anxiety.
So you think some of maybe this self-care would help kind of unwind that?
Yeah. It's almost like background noise.
Mm.
Like I know I'm in it, but I don't. I used to have anxiety attacks when I was younger, and I don't have those, but I'm aware that I still carry it another way. I just function through it, but I'm still like very much going through the motion.
If I may ask, what was something that you did when you had those anxiety attacks to kind of calm yourself?
When I used to get them bad, I got them bad in my teens and my early 20s, and they were debilitating. And they'd be first thing in the morning, which I think has to do with blood sugar or something. But anyway, I would just like lie still, and I'd put like a cold cloth on my stomach, and I would just breathe and try to, and then let the cold cloth heat up basically in my stomach, and I would like just cool my heat or whatever. Because I just felt really shaky and like nervous in my stomach, so that seemed to help.
It sounds very mindful. Maybe you're much better at it than you think.
Yeah, I haven't had to do that in a while, thank God.
Would you be interested maybe trying something like that in the evenings when you're more anxious going to sleep?
Yeah, actually that would be a good sort of give myself the time for it.
Something
I think
to
I
try.
only put it on as like, whoa, emergency Band-Aid, but
Mhm.
I do recognize I'm still carrying it. Even though I've learned to function with it, I'm still carrying it kind of thing.
So we're just about out of time today. I just wanted to check in with you and see if you were planning on maybe doing any of these things this evening or this week, or if any of these would maybe be something that you could try, and we could check in next week and see if any of them worked to
Sure.
kind of relieve
Yeah.
some of that tension and wound up energy.
Okay.
If you're interested in that, which one do you think you might be interested in doing?
The bath, maybe. Maybe the cool cup, but, yeah, just the mindfulness, like you said, trying that a little bit, and maybe kind of inching into my goals. I don't know if that's what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just maybe trying something out, and then we can kind of refresh next week and see if anything worked for
like
you.
a self-care, sort of.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
wanted to try doing the bath, and then we could check in and see if that worked, and then maybe create some sort of goal to have one bath a month. And
Oh no, I have baths lots. That's not the one with the
Good.
goals. It's the gym one. That
The gym one that will ease into?
That will.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know, but the college gym is free to all
Yeah.
students, open pretty late in the
I'm trying
evening.
to put
So
myself on there too.
see if maybe that works out for you one
Yeah.
evening, and then we could check in with that as well if you're interested in doing that.
Okay.
I could maybe bring some worksheets next week for some minor little workouts, or if you're interested in that, to get you started.
Well, even just checking in, because there actually was a trainer that I connected with.
Mhm.
So just checking in to see if that. I'm not gonna like force myself, but I'll go there and I'll see, if it fits. Like maybe just taking that step.
Yeah. Sounds like a very open-minded approach. I think it'll be really good to just give it a try, and then you know. Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
feel like we got a lot done.
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling well about it, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.